Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, depending on where in the planet you are. Hi. I know that I just kind of notify about this live uh, not long ago. So let's see who is going to be here. My phone is going crazy. So let's see. Hello everyone. We are going to be talking. No live readings. I just wake up maybe like an hour or two ago. So we're going to be talking. I have a conversation with someone, a friend, one of the tribe, and I want to share and maybe go a little bit more deeper. We were kind of messaging and it was a little bit difficult. So hello everyone. Let's see who is going to be here. Let's see if I can see the comments. So if you can hear me well, and if you're here, say hi, just to see if I can see the comments. So let's see. I don't know if I can see the comments. Let's see. If not, I need to change. So let's see who is going to be here. Hi, Maricelis. Hi, Alisa or Alicia. I don't know how to say it. So, hi, Amy. I think that you just got here. So, like I said, I'm not gonna be doing live readings today. As everybody in here know, I love to teach, I love to share, and kind of guide each one of the tribe to a better self or a more connection or communication with their higher self. Alisa, okay, thank you. So I was talking with someone through Messenger. We were talking about gut feeling, intuition, working with herself, like she was kind of like feeling that she was working, like she need to work with herself in some kind of, good morning, Daniel, with herself, that she was feeling empty and stuff like that. So I'm just going through the conversation really quickly, and she was talking about separating the ego and working with the old stuck emotions and stuff like that. So let's start with this, and then if you have questions and need me to go more in deep, we can do it. But I think that this is something that we need to start putting more attention, because we went through a lot of spiritual processes, and we are going to go through a lot more this year. So when we are talking about gut feeling, intuition, or separating the ego and stuff like that, we have to have in mind that the key in here is trust. Most of the time when we are going through something, we start saying, oh, this is not feeling right, or I have this feeling that this is not going well, or this is not the right way to do it, etc. Right? That's the first thing that we always, hi Karma, good morning. So that's the way that we always do. Like the first impression, like, oh my God, I have this feeling. But most of the time, that feeling is not your intuition. That gut feeling that you are experiencing is not your intuition. And you need to work in kind of separate or difference. It's not about the ego, it's just the mind. It's how we've kind of been growing up, and how we have a lot of old system belief in our minds. So with this, I mean, every person have a sixth sense or a gut feeling and intuition. But most of the time when we are going through those experiences, or we are feeling that gut, it's not a feeling, it's more like a knowing how this works. When our intuition, when our self, our spirits, our guide, when it's our guides, most of the time we just have this kind of conversation. When our guides are trying to, even loved ones are trying to avoid us to do something that is not the right thing, we are going to be having like a crazy conversation in our mind. So when our guides are trying to make us avoid certain things, not lessons, because we have to go through those, but when they're trying to help us, to guide us through those lessons, to guide us through the energy shift, to guide us through ascensions, through awakenings, through DNA activations, through what is the other thing? Merkaba activation. Yeah. Well, it's just 12 o'clock in here, so my day of private reading didn't start yet. So let's. I just kind of wake up not long ago. So, but they always kind of guide us. So you will have this conversation in your mind, like, "Hey, don't do that. Are you crazy?" Or you have this. You're gonna feel that someone is talking. Sometimes we feel that it's us, but it's one of our guide loved ones, right? But sometimes ourselves, myself, like I said, like me, "Hey, are you there?" We start feeling or we start receiving information. We start feeling things that are going to be outside of the timeline or the situation. But most of the time, you feel that at the beginning, you feel it, you know it, and then that it is your gut intuition working at its best. Most of the time, when it's I do Nikki and Tina. So most of the time, when we need to start trusting those moments, we need to start trusting those conversations that we have. Most of the time, people always ask me how it is that you get the information so good or so spot on, or you kind of follow that, whatever. It's because I really trust in what I'm receiving. The trust comes when you know how your abilities work, when you really believe in the power or in the capacity that you have to receive those messages, and the trust comes when you believe, you know how your abilities work with you, whichever ability. So those things are really important, and that's something that I always kind of keep reminding to each one of you. So the first thing that you're gonna be doing is just like, by example, you are driving. Before you go before you get out to your car, you have this conversation. Most of the time, the guides, angels, loved ones are the first one to tune in with you. They're gonna be like, "Are you sure that you wanna go?" And you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I know that I wanna go." You're gonna have that kind of conversation, and I'm just giving you an idea, so maybe finally you have a better understanding in how it works. We always talk, and you have a lot of psychic mediums out there talking about these things, but never kind of give you the full idea. So, or maybe you're gonna see someone, and you're gonna be like, you really want to go out, or you have that kind of conversation, like, you know that this person is going through, or maybe it's like they start talking, like you start having that conversation. You know that if you go, you're not gonna be happy there, right? And you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I know, but I should go because it's my obligation." Then you're trying to put yourself into it because your mind, and this does not have to be with ego, and we need to separate one thing from another. It's just how we've been kind of not created, how we've been teach it, or how we've been all of our life being. So we are going to start looking for excuses to do what this conversation that is going on in our head is having, because that's how we've been taught. We have to behave, we have to do, we have to be, etc., etc. So then you kind of do whatever you want to kind of like be stubborn. We go to the car, but then something is telling you that you have that feeling immediately, and a knowing sensation that you should not be driving, or you should take this route. And you're gonna be asking yourself, then you're gonna be, it's not that it didn't feel right, you just know that is what is the right choice. Most of the time, the gut feeling is going to oh, I'm happy for that. I'm so happy for that, Tina. This is why I'm doing this. Because I feel that this is something that a lot of us need. And when I was talking with my friend, they told me you need to do a live. So we need to understand that most of the time we don't feel, it's not like our guts are going to tell us, this does not feel right. They're going to tell us, you're going to feel and know this is the best way to conduct. Even when you go in a place, You feel, oh my God, I have this feeling that this place, maybe some, like the energy is not going on well because of this. You always, when you have a gut feeling, always going to know. It's going to be that kind of feeling. Knowing, feeling and knowing, feeling and knowing. Clairsentient and the gut feeling especially always work with clairsentient and clairomniscient. Because our spirit or our self or higher self, whatever you want to call it, is telling you already the solution, what you need to do. Your soul is telling you what you need to do. So maybe we are writing something, maybe we are saying something, and immediately you have this feel and know that you say something wrong, right? But most of the time we don't trust, we don't kind of like, no, why I want to go to that? Because our mind, again, start talking. Our mind start trying to make sense of everything. Because then the mind, the human consciousness, the human logic, the brain, right, is telling us or getting it out. So, like I said to her, most of the time, I don't feel right or it's not feeling right. This is more human. Why? When you have this feeling or this, like you should not go there, most of the time you will know why you cannot go or why. That maybe it's just something that you are saying or you just know that maybe don't have a way for you to prove. By example, I don't know, I feel that I should not go because I'm not going to have a good time there. You just knew. But then your mind is like, why you say that you're not going to have a good time? You know this person, you know this and that. See, our mind is the one that gets in the middle. So when something don't feel right, most of the time it's our human side getting. Then because most of the time they don't feeling right, when it comes with fear, doubt, questions, or your obligations or moral things to do, because that's how society, that's how your family, your friends, etc. When it's kind of attached or coming through all of those or some of those emotions, then you will know that is just your human side, and that it is when we need to stop it. Because most of the time we start listening to our with our human side and not our spiritual consciousness or our self and stuff like that. Well, the ringing ears, it could be both. And again, it's not ego. The ringing, it could be something physical going on, or it could be your guides. You need to trust and feel, go with what you feel it is. When people talk, we have this, let's go and explain this. People talk about ego like it's a bad thing to have. Oh, what is bad about the ego is when we allow that ego to control us, that ego to make us feel that we are more than other people. That's the bad aspect of the ego. That's the bad aspect that we need to work with. Because the ego, when it get there about making me feel like I can be better, or I'm comparing myself here and there, I'm having this event because I'm good at what I do. When we start talking about in that kind of trying to make us feel that we are better than any other people, or we are kind of like this special person, then the ego is bad. But having ego is not, because most of the time it's the ego that makes us get better. It is okay to have ego. It's like the shadow work. People say that you need to change this and that. When we accept our good and bad, when we accept that, when we just accept it in the way that I know that I'm good at what I do, I'm not comparing myself with no one else. I know that I'm good because I know the sacrifices, I know what I'm putting out there. I know my value, my work. So my ego in that aspect is not bad, because I'm accepting, that's my self-love. Ego is part of that part of you that allow you to be happy, to feel proud. It is good to feel proud of what you are doing. It is good because it's part of you accepting who you are. You accepting that you've been working hard. Hey, girl, I did it. Way, woo. You know? But if I start saying, I'm better than this person because I have followed this story, then that ego, that part of the ego is the one that is not right. When you say it, you think about it that way. When we are like, I can say that, yes, I feel that I'm better than her because of he or whatever, because I kind of a study. I'm not like, I would say like, I'm not better, I know more. That's another way to say it. But when you just use your ego to, I want to learn more, I feel that I'm missing something, that part of the ego that helps us to keep growing, to feel proud in a more humble kind of way, that's good. So we need to stop thinking that every time that we are kind of feeling proud about something, especially in the spiritual aspect, that is an ego and we have to shut down. No. Because it's a work that we are doing. We are learning how to go through awakenings, ascensions, human DNA activation, soul DNA activations. We are going through shadow work, galvanizations. We are going through functions. So we are going through a lot. So it is good to say, damn, I did it. I'm making this happening. So that's the best way for you to master. While we can work with the ego is to just realize that it's something that we need to be in ourselves. Like being proud. Hey, I'm proud of it. So if you are receiving that or you are getting the ringing in your ears, Daniel, the way that you can shut down and thinking that it is that part of the ego, what you want to see it this way. Okay, I'm having this ringing on my ears. I know that I'm not sick. I'm gonna make sure that I don't have nothing going on with my ears. But I'm receiving this ringing because an ability is opening. My guides are trying to connect in a different way, but maybe the clear audience is not my strong ability. So I'm gonna continue studying. I'm gonna continue connecting, communicating with my guides in the normal way. I'm gonna learn how they're trying to connect through the clear audience. I'm not trying to be better. It's just like another ability kind of working. That doesn't mean that it's going to be a strong ability. It's just like that's the way that your guides or whatever are trying to communicate with you, or maybe to make you learn how that work in certain aspect or time, whatever it is your process with that. But most of the time you just say it that way, like, okay girl, I'm getting this. I feel it could be crazy or like overwhelming when you start receiving a lot of or when abilities start working out like crazy. But the way that I see it is like every time that something come in, I was like, oh my God, this is happening to me. Like now I'm gonna be doing this. Okay. Please guide me, please teach me, because I don't know where I have to be, or send me the right people that is going to teach me. But oh my God, this is coming. I always celebrate that. I always celebrate what is coming. Like, oh my God, yes, I'm gonna have this. This is going to be so cool. But please, take it easy. This is new for me. And that's the best, because you are celebrating that. You are kind of celebrating. You're feeling proud, like, I've been doing something good. Like, oh yeah. That's the best way to see it. That's the best way to receive it. That's the best way to do it that way. Okay, so for me, I don't know who is this Shannon Lane asking for DM people. So if Tanisha and Karma don't know, please don't. If you don't know this person, please block it, and I'm gonna be doing the same. Okay, sweetie. So if you don't know a person, please I don't know that person either, so please. Okay, sweetie. So that's the best way for you. So now we know how we're going to be working with the intuition and everything that have to be with the intuition and the gut feeling, how it is, how it's supposed to be. Now we know how they guide us, how this conversation that maybe we don't feel, we don't know how it is, and how to work with our ego. There are three different things. We've always put the ego thing, or the level of the ego thing, and we need to start working. Again, I always say to people, I'm not in the position to kind of say that years of teaching or years of things getting out there it is right or wrong. I feel that everything kind of get out, we start working with it, but as everything, we start learning more and more and getting more information, and now it's time for us to start learning how to this new way of seeing it, and maybe you just work with it. I feel that it's the right way because I trust in them, but that's the way that we want to do it. That's the way that we need to do it. Like shadow work, we've been working with shadow work in a certain kind of way, and when it was my time, they showed me, no, this is the right way, or this is the way that you need to do it. So, and believe me, after working with making work with my shadow, or doing shadow work for so long, that I never finished, or I never felt like I was ending that process in the way that they showed me. It was the way that, and I feel so good about it. So, but always follow, always trust in whatever you're feeling that you need to do. The best, I have something in my mind that they were trying to tell me. Okay, so when you trust, like I was saying at the beginning, trusting in your abilities is a little bit difficult. You can be all of your life, basically like me and some of you. By example, all of us, we know that we have psychic abilities. All of us have ESP. It is difficult to believe it because it's something that has been there for all of your life. It could be feelings, knowing, seeing. But we never, because of whatever family we had to grow up, or whatever situation, we never really believed, or we really kind of really understand it. So it's kind of a normal, usual kind of way. We always, when the ego tell you, no, I want to see as she sees, or I want to hear as she, that's the ego. But when you allow, I want to grow, because I want to understand however it is that I put in myself, whatever it is my soul contract, saying that I have to do. Okay, in this year you're gonna be stubborn. In this life you're gonna be a clear audience or clairsentient person. This is going to be the one tool that you're gonna be using to help you growing. You're gonna have to go to this. When you put that soul contract, you need to follow that. And when we allow the ego to take us out of that, then it's a problem. But when we just allow the ego to, oh my God, I want to keep learning, I want to be the best self that I can be, then it's a good way. So I would say the trust comes no matter how long you've been having, when you really devote yourself, or you really take the time to learn your own tools. See the psychic abilities as your own tools. It's coming with your body. It's scientifically proven that the body comes with some aspect that even for them is difficult to explain. But when you come in this body, you put some tools in there. You put, when you learn how to, you make exercises. Even after 22 years, girl, I still do my exercises. It could be through my private reading. It could be through, when I don't have readings, I start looking. But when you really start putting yourself into learning and understanding, so every time that I have this happen. Every time that I have this happen. Every time that when you start learning, when you start practicing, having, I would say, like, have compassion. Have be patient with yourself, because even that you've been having this all of your life, it's not going to be something that is going to just like, oh my God, I know how to use my clairvoyance. Okay, fine. No, it's going to take time. It's going to take patience, love. When you do that, whatever it is, then when you accept it, when you embrace it, when you, okay, oh my God, I can hear, I can feel, I can do this and that. The trust. When you have that journal, that is important, girls. I always say it. Oh, so this day, when sometimes something happened and you're gonna be like, I'm pretty sure that I kind of saw this or felt this. Oh my God, why do it feel so familiar? Go to your journal. Read as back as you can. I can tell you, you're gonna find some day that you write down something that had to be with this. And you will kind of understand more the times of the day that you work better, or your abilities kind of, or your spiritual side kind of be more stronger. You will know what kind of emotions triggers what aspects of those abilities. But you need, that's the way that you build that trust with what in the way that you are receiving things. Then when you believe that you are a spirit, you believe that you are a soul, you believe because you've been reading, you've been receiving, you've been trusting. So you believe. The believing is not about having signs, it's not just about receiving guidance through people like me, reading yourself, cards, dreams. It is about believing, is about that part of you that is kind of like knowing it, feeling it. The believing aspect of this, it is about just being who you are as a soul, being who you are. If I know that I'm a spiritual person, if I know that I'm doing what I need to do, if I'm trusting my abilities, the believing is coming. But most of the time we believe, oh yeah, it's an afterlife, oh yeah, it's a spirit, because we've been seeing these things. But at the moment that we stop having those, our doubts start coming. But then you are not trusting. So we have to understand that these two things are always hand by hand. When your trust is not there, your believing is not going to be stronger. And then the messages, and it's like a ripple effect. So believe because you've been reading, believe because you are being living it, believe because it's the way. Is, I would say, like, for some it's faith, but for me faith is just kind of having that known or that knowledge that something it is in the perfect way, that everything is in the way that it's meant to be. That's for me faith. For me, it is about having that constant knowledge that everything has a reason, that I make this so contract, that I'm in the right path. That's for me faith. Faith is more about a knowledge that have to be with something that I know that it is in the perfect way that it's supposed to be. Believing, for me, it is that I've been experiencing for so long that even when I'm not receiving in that moment, I still believing. I don't need that to believe. I don't need to, because I still have the experiences, I still have the memories, I still have the knowledge, I still have the studies. How no, I'm not going to believe what I'm being experiencing and knowing as a soul, and in my brain, it is already there. When I'm being studying too as a human, to create that equilibrium, not balance, equilibrium. So I'm trusting, and I believe because I trust. We can trust in others, but I would say the most important thing is I trust in me. Hey girl, I'm sorry, but I trust in me. What I trust in me, because I've been having 22 years of constant study, of constant knowing, of constant believing. See, that's what I trust. even that don't make sense, I'm not in a right. I'm not in a right of, I would say, like, I'm not, after being doing this for so many years and studying for so many years, I just trust that it is. So sometimes it's hard to believe. We start doubting ourselves, then it's hard. Well, again, it's hard to believe because we are not trusting, because we are not trusting enough to believe no matter what. Believing is an opening to receiving. We are human, and that is often our companion. We are not human, we are souls. We need to start changing that way. Believing is not opening to receiving. Believing is opening to just have faith. Opening to believing is about just accepting and knowing. Believing is about, I've been reading this, it resonates with my soul. I don't have a doubt. I don't have to be away. The doubt is part of our human condition in this third dimension, but it's not our companion. We need to start changing. I accept that I'm a human person. I accept that I'm having a human life. I accept that in this human condition, I have to go through certain limitations that come with the third dimension that is going to teach me some things. That's what I believe, that's what I know, that's what I trust. Right? But I'm a soul. I'm not a human. I'm a soul. I'm a spirit. I'm here just because I came here with a mission. In my soul contract, I have a mission to do it, to fulfill. But I have a soul contract to my own soul, to myself, to who I am, to learn, to pass to whatever situation humanly, to grow. So when we start changing the way that we see things, again, those things come with the ascension process, when we are kind of getting ourselves together. Yes, but we need to stop saying it. And that don't make it me, if I'm a starseed, if I'm an earth spirit, that's another thing, and that is not important. It really don't. It's just like I know from where I'm coming. Now I can understand, I can celebrate, I can be, I can live more in my true self. I'm a starseed, I'm coming from this planet, I'm a hybrid, I'm a Pleiadian, an Andromedan. It's not a neutral thing, but I'm there. So we cannot break our soul contract. We cannot. The only way that we can break our soul contract is like when we kill ourselves, or even that is, most of the time that's the only way that we can. And again, when we do that, we need to check, because sometimes it is in a soul contract of someone. But the only way, when it's not in your soul contract, we are getting into more deeper waters in here, but when you know your soul contract in some kind of way, and that is not part of it, the only way to break it is if you do something to yourself. Okay? But there are some contracts that have suicide, that have accident, like killing. So we need to understand that person, that soul contract. So that's why when we are connecting with the spirit, we need to understand what it is going on, what is their soul contract, what there were lessons there. Most of the time, how you know that is a soul path reading, is through soul path, is knowing that person's soul path, and etc. They can tell you, but even if you do it, even if you break your soul contract, the only thing that is going to be like, you're gonna come back pretty soon and go back with the same soul contract in a more difficult, more strong aspect, and then you have to relive it in some kind of way with another family, with another people. But Soul contracts, we need to start talking about it, but it could be, there's so many things that need to be said or out there. Yeah, I would say like maybe in a Zoom meeting. This way is a little bit more complicated, but answering your question, no, you cannot broke your soul contract. What you can break, or what you can I would say broke or kind of not getting for your soul contract is the lessons. What you can do is not learning the lessons. Bien, y tú, Genesis. So it's not about breaking your soul contract. It is more about not following your soul path, or not following your lessons in that soul contract, I would say. So what you can do is like maybe you are not learning what you're supposed to be learning, or you are keep repeating lessons and lessons and lessons, and that then is not that you are breaking your soul contract. It's just like you are putting yourself into a more difficult aspect, and then you will need to come back. But so far I really don't believe in soul contract. They can change, but it's not because we want to change the soul contract. As humans, we can change it as a soul. We can change it. Most of the time it's the higher beings. They are the ones, because right now we are going through a lot of things that is needed for that. If soul contract cannot be broken, then we are told we have freedom to choose. How do we choose to move a certain direction for soul contract cannot be broken? Because our soul contract is not about choosing directions. It's not about interfering with free will. Our soul contract is just a map of lessons or things that should be happening in some kind of way. But our decisions are going to be the one deciding how strong or how bad it could be, or how big. By example, in my soul contract, I need to learn deception. But people think that we have to go through deception to learn how not to be how not to be, and how not to pass, or like I'm not gonna be a deceptive. I'm not gonna receive deception. But the truth is, the lesson it is in self to teach you how you're gonna master your own soul, how you're gonna master, because remember, out there is everything in theory. So in my soul contract, I have to go to deception, and I put in my soul contract I'm gonna be with Heidi, Mari, Hi Rutan, with someone, or I'm gonna be going through this job, whatever it is, but someone is going to make me feel a deception. By example, I'm gonna be with someone, but who is going to be that someone? Most of the time, you choose the characteristics. So there are people. I tell her, Mia, that I sent her a kiss too. Mia, I love you. So that's my baby, that's my girl. But you can have people, but not all the people are in your soul contract. The people that is in your soul contract, most of the time, are going to be the closest friends, are going to be your family members. Those are the people that you really go and talk to them. The person that you marry with. Not because you have a 5 boyfriend. The 5 boyfriends were meant to be in your soul contract. You were meant to go through relationships to find your soulmate, to find that relationship, to learn whatever you needed. But you didn't put all of these things, because at the end you have the free will to choose if you just want to go through one. See, you just put relationship. The soul contract is just a map of the lessons. So I put the deception. I have to go through, but my guides are telling me, you put attention to this, put attention to that. I'm still having these feelings, these dreams, or emotions going on. I put attention to that. Those are my signs. Those are the guidance. to help me go through that. In my human condition, my stubborn self, if we are stubborn, right? Or in my human condition, I'm going to make all of these ideas. I'm going to make all of these imagination things. I'm going to be doing all of these things. I'm going to go. But in that human condition that I have, that because I'm not maybe awakened in that moment, I allow this deception to break my heart to go this and that. When we are awakened, or we are knowing, or we are accepting that we are soul, I go through that. Okay, I feel a little bit of deceptive, or I feel a little bit of deception is part of it. I get it, but I learned this and this and this. Then you have another way to see it. You have another way to always try to go through these lessons, or it could be big lessons, small lessons, but you always try to go through that, knowing that you're a soul, that you have to go through this, and you're learning from that. That's the best way for me to explain to you how you're going to fulfill that. By example, everything that is going on out there. We tend to criticize, we tend to judge, we tend to, in a human condition, even though we're saying that, and this is about a lot of people, but you can see a lot of people saying, no, I have compassion, I have love for people, I want them. But then they're criticizing them, they're judging, oh, they're so crazy, I don't know why they're doing this, because we want to have a love, or especially in the United States, you're going to see a lot of people talking about patriotism. But through that patriotism, that they're just judging, criticizing, because of their way of seeing patriotism. When we are a soul, no matter what else, and especially now that we have so much separation there, it is so much, we need to start making the changes inside of us. Okay, I'm seeing this, I'm not, as a human, I'm not condemning, but I'm not, I don't want to be in the same place, or I'm maybe it's not what I will do, but I understand as a soul that it's a process that I have to go through. It is a process that the collective is going, that is need to happen, because it's a soul path as a collective that we have to go through. So then I'm not going to be judging. I'm going to be like, what I can do in myself to change this. I'm going to change the way that I'm seeing these things that are happening around the world, United States, Puerto Rico. I'm going to start changing the way that I'm seeing these aspects. I'm going to start changing the way that I'm putting that love out there, accepting without condemnation, loving each person and saying, they're not affecting me. I'm not getting hurt. I'm sorry for the ones that I'm getting hurt, but I have to understand that it's their soul path, it's their decision, what is the lessons, and what it is that this is creating out there. So when you start changing that, when you start really expressing love because you are feeling love, when you see that things don't have to be about right or left and right, black and white, it's just a united thing. Because some actions as a collective is not just as individuals having some lessons, situation going on that are creating this thing. But at the same time, this huge thing in the collective can have a ripple effect in each of the individuals as well. So how we can use that for learning us to give back and make the change, that's what we need to start seeing as a soul. We need to stop looking excuses to feel that I'm right, you're wrong. I'm in here just neutral. I'm in here just giving you as a soul what my soul is feeling, because my soul is seeing a lot of things out there. Every time that I have to go up there because something is changing in here, because something is coming, I see this, and I've been saying it, be prepared For those that follow me in my Patreon, know what I'm talking about. But when you are there, when you see this event, understand that this is a pre-event of something that is coming. What it is that we are moving. I don't care. We are a right to care about left and right, black and white. To have as human, to have certain ideas or certain belief or certain way to act. But as a soul, we have a more bigger mission, a more bigger concern. It's like no matter how I feel as a human, whatever I believe as a human is not going to change what I have to do as a soul. In any case, my soul is going to change my human perspective, my human actions. Because we are not just soul, just to have, yeah, I'm a soul, I'm a spirit, yeah, we are connecting with these higher beings, we're connecting because I'm a soul, because I'm receiving communication. Stop doing that. We are not just a soul for that. We are a soul for everything, for every decision, from every step. That is not easy because in this society, in this way that we are living, we have a lot of mental things going on. Oh, yeah. That is going to be on a long road because this is a life for you. This soul path, this soul contract is for you as an individual to make it through. And this is not about being selfish, because being selfish will be putting yourself first when the ego starts acting. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that you need to work because this is your life, not everybody else. I love each one of you. I have my friends. I have my family. I love them, but it's not about them. My life, my soul path, my soul contract is about me, the people, even my daughters. I love them, but it's not about them. My life is about me. What I can do to grow. And through me, helping those around me. Because for a reason, I put my sister, I put my daughters, I put my brother, I put my mom, my dad, etc., etc. And they choose me to be in their soul contract as well, because I'm going to be teaching something. Maybe in this life, maybe at the moment they're not learning, but it is there. I'm doing my part of the job because I'm focusing in what it is my soul contract. And relationships are going to change. But as I was saying, even that I have those people around me, even that I have these soul contracts with all of them, there are going to be moments that I feel separate. Because maybe my soul path, my soul contract, my higher frequency, my higher vibration, it is right now in another set. Maybe because their life situation, my daughter, my sister, my dad, etc., have other situations that don't have to be with me, that maybe they cannot be putting attention to whatever I'm saying, or it's not their moment to be awakened, or it's not the moment. But I don't love them less. I know that this is a journey, that it is about being me. It is a journey that is not about being alone. It's not about feeling alone, because I know that I'm not alone, but I know that it's a self journey. I don't want to say alone. I don't like that. And they are saying that. Don't say it that way. So it's an alone. It's a self journey. But I know that if I don't do it, how I'm going to be able to help each one of you. How I'm going to be able to fulfill my journey. So that's the way that they're saying. That's the way that they want us to see it. That's the way that we need to start changing. We are a soul for everything. Even if you go with angels, if you go with higher beings, if you go with your ascended master, star seeds, galactic people, the high council of consciousness, guides, everything that they do is about one. But they always do that knowing that because their work is so important that it will affect everything. It's going to create a ripple effect so strong that it's going to do this and move up. We are being taught that or to help the collective, or to change this frequency, to move these frequencies about the collective. How many times we've been hearing like, oh, we are, I don't call that light workers, as again, I just specify that word is not good. We are workers of light and workers for the light, helping the light workers to get in. But we always been hearing that we are here, starship, to help the earth spirit, to move this earth to the next dimension. That we here to help them to bring the new earth. How many times we hear that? Oh, we have to help here the collective, blah, 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 and it's not happening. It's not happening, and we still seeing so separation and so much separation because we're still trying to move this frequency with this planet in this dimension with the old habit of how we used to love, how we've been taught for so many eons of years how to love, how to be, how to think what is right, what is wrong, instead of creating an equilibrium. We've been taught for so long, and still, what is the earth? We're still here in the third dimension. We're still here with the boundaries of not manifesting, of not living our life. Because we're focusing so much in the collective, but we are not really. We're talking about healing. We are talking about self-improvement, self-care, but we are not doing it. Because we are doing it because of the collective. We need to stop that. One of the things that they told me, the collective cannot live without the individuals, but the individuals can survive without the collective. So if we want the collective to grow, if we want the collective to move up, if we want the collective to be able to raise the vibration and the frequency of this earth, we need to focus in ourselves. We need to focus in our individual, because it's our frequency that start working with other frequencies, creating this collective, moving up this frequency. And I have goosebumps. Again, take what resonates with you. Take what you feel is right, and think about it. Ask yourself, ask your guides, ask your feelings, and you will see. You will see. I do everything that I do because I love. Like yesterday, I was with this person. She is a friend because I consider her a friend, because she's been doing so many years of readings with me. And the goosebump is when you know that is the light, that is true. But Daniel, if you see what is being done and said in the Patreon, then you will say like, damn, it's going to make so much sense. But when we go and do I lost what I was saying. But when I really lost, okay, so when I was there, I love her. She's been with me for almost 6-7 years of doing private readings, and I love her. It was her sister that called me, and I had to, and it was just for her because she knew how much she believed and trust in whatever the guides, not me. I'm just a tool, I'm just a messenger. But she believed really in a lot of the guidance that these spirits always told her. So it didn't take me. I went to the hospital. I went and go through all of the process with her. In that moment, I didn't need to, I wasn't proving something. I wasn't thinking, I just felt it. But the first thing that I felt was like, is this going to be in something that, because I don't like to go to hospital. I hate that. I can see and feel so much there. But is that something that it can hurt me as a spirit, as a soul, as a human? That was the first question. When I hang up with her, I tell her, let me put some, to the sister, let me put some organization I need to write down, see that I don't have any other reading that day, and where I was, because I have other people, and I need to be there for them too, right? So I was kind of clean. So my first question was, is this interfering with my soul contract, or is interfering with my self-love, right? And I said, like, no, I feel that I need to do this because I just feel that it's a better way for me to allow that love to flow through me. I didn't think about, oh, now I feel obligated. No, I didn't went through those things. And I want you to let that part of the human side to get out. As a soul, I was asking me, this is something that is coming to me. It's not affecting me in any way. Let's do it. Because I felt in going. I was the one asking her if she need me there. And you know what? It was the best thing because I was there. The connection that I have to her. And you know what? It didn't take out of me that I was drained because I was in a hospital and I had to put some... It was the extra work that kind of drained me. But still, I didn't feel like I was taking out of me. I felt that I was doing, that it was flowing through me. And that's the difference. And now she saw it, and that created a ripple effect. And I just trust and believe that it's going to be the right ripple effect. Or the ripple effect, whatever it is called. Right? And that's the way that you want to do things. About all of this situation that is happening, when I have to put my mask, when I have to do things, I ask myself, is going towards whatever I believe as a soul, whatever I know as a soul? It is going towards, nah, I can't wait. I can take care of from others because I love my sister. I had to take care about myself, extra care because of her. But it's okay. It's not affecting my way. But there are things that I'm not going to do because then that is going towards that. A lot of people is going to judge me. A lot of people is going to criticize me. That's their decision. That's their... But we need to start seeing it that way. So that way we don't get it personal. That way we go through emotions because you need to learn, right? You need to accept those. But the way that you go through emotions, the way that you go through those feelings, through those lessons, I don't know, it's just different. You cry when you have to cry. You just accept it. I'm sad, I cry. I'm mad because because in my human aspect, I've been working and doing this, I'm mad. But it's okay. An example, and I'm giving examples so you have something to work on in yourself. Some of those things, I know that you can get it better, or it's easier for you to get there because maybe your frequencies is after or things like that, or your frequencies is higher and stuff, but it's something that you can still do this now. I went to do the change of name of my car. In Puerto Rico, we have a lot of, oh my God, I forget the name, toque de queda, but these curfews, right? So it was difficult. But finally, I was able to get an appointment and get there. After waiting all morning, I'm telling you more than 4 or 5 hours, I was finally getting in. They checked my paper, and because I didn't have one paper, and it was in the car, I just needed to go out, look for it, and finish. They didn't love me. At the moment, I remember seeing the person, you really don't let me go out? I breathe, and I remember to myself, I'm a soul. Okay, it have to be for a reason. I'm not gonna fight it. It's my fault into some extension. I'm not gonna win something. This is something that it can happen, and I just go and left, and I need to make an appointment new. I didn't care. I really didn't care. Whatever consequence that is coming, I will deal with the consequence. But I did my part, and I'm trying to avoid that consequence in some kind of way. But I understand in the moment that it was for a reason there. So that's how you care, but you don't care in the same way, I would say. You care in a more deeper sense of caring, okay? So I never want to be part of those groups because I probably never would have tuned in. Have lost my son. I miss him so much, but through his loss, I have been led so many people I'm able to have helped me through my personal spiritual journey and grow. I appreciate the people like you that help me through. Thank you, Tina. I'm happy. It is my honor. It's my blessing, and because even through the losing of your son, it was part of the soul contract of him of you to wake you up. It's just like we need to start seeing that we are going through the feelings, emotions, we are going through situations that are going to help us to master our soul, our frequency. We are going to be one with that and then go up. If you can do that in this dimension. Okay, Nikki, love you. And when we can do that, I can tell you, when we get there, maybe we don't have to come back here. Something that I learned recently, we always complain, I don't want to come here, I don't want to come here. You know what? The truth is, in here we have things that we don't have. Even our loved ones say to us, well, I want you to live for me as I live through you. Because there are things in here that they miss. We have beautiful trees, we have water, we have air in the way that we have it. We have music, dancing, food. We have food. Laughing. We have a lot of things that in other worlds, in other planets, in other dimensions, they still happen, but they happen differently. So far, I learned that this planet is the only one to offer a physical, in this way, condition. And we just came here to fulfill a mission, to fulfill a purpose, but most of it to be able to master and become one. So that's how you see kids, that they know so much. They can talk to you about past life. They can talk to you about the universe. They can talk to you about a way of being. Even their abilities are so beautiful in the way that they can manifest. Because they already mastered something in here as complaining, or the completion, or they become one with their soul. So when they come back and that happens, their soul, it is just who they are as a spirit there in here. We have the duty to not block them. We have the duty to not stop them, to help them to keep being this amazing soul, because it's a lot of teaching coming from them. So that's the way that you see it. I think that I talk more than I was meant to, but it was needed, because you cannot see one thing without another. Let's be souls now. Let's start embracing who we are as a soul. That is going to be a lot of reading, a lot of learning, a lot of teaching, a lot of it's going to be a lot of working. Yeah. Healings are messing with us because of the resistance, but that's another thing. And heal not because you feel that traumas. I feel that those are more human terms. We need to heal about remembering who we are as a soul. We need to heal understanding that the process and pain that we have to go through, it was just part of the soul contract. And when we start seeing it that way, is when the heal start going through. I'm not saying that you're not gonna miss those that you lost. As living as it is there. I'm not saying that the pain is not going to be there, but it's a different type of. I'm not saying that you're not going to go through situations, that you're not gonna go through ups and downs. I'm just telling you that when you do the work and you stop resisting that, it is more easy to go through. It is more easy to start manifesting the good. It's more easy to really live in a higher frequency, even when people call you that you're crazy. So it's a lot, but we need to start being souls. We need to stop criticizing through our belief. We need to stop judging through our human belief. As a soul, we need to understand even more. As a soul, we need to respect their soul contract. And I can tell you, in my family, sometimes I'm like, but I get it, this is their soul path, their soul contract, I'm gonna leave them, and I'm just going to be, because it's not affecting me, it's not affecting my journey. I'm gonna know that through my living, through my way of talking, through the way that I am, love is flowing. Love is manifesting. And is doing their job. Love itself, the energy of love is doing what is needed. And I'm just going to continue my path, my journey. Having this tribe or this community that we can understand each other, we can respect each other. But my duty, my mission is to give you, all of you, the tools to become one. I can tell you without a doubt, I'm a one with my soul. I can tell you that the one that is living, the one that is awakening, the one that is fully ascension, the one that have finally the last step of the human processes as a spirit, or the spirit process as human. And I can tell you without a doubt, with my heart in my hand, that it could be a difficult way of living at the beginning. And I say difficult because you need to adjust your mental mind. And it's still some job, some work is there. But I can tell you that when you finally become one with your higher self, when you become one, I don't call myself, hey, higher self. I say, like, me, are you here? We need to talk. Me. And I don't feel that separation anymore. I can tell you that when you start feeling that, when you don't have that separation between the human and the self, it is amazing. And the human side just become a car that I'm driving that is taking me to my destination. That I'm fixing everything that goes in the way, but finally all of the repairs that I did in the past are kind of new. Finally those repairs are kind of working for me. So that's the way that you need to see this. You're in a journey, you're in a road trip, that the end of the light, it is become one with your higher self. To get to your natural frequency or energy frequency. So that's my role. I'm gonna find some people that I'm gonna get inside of this journey. But this car is mine. This body is my car, and it's taking me there. Yeah, they're going to be pumping. Oh, I hate that. I'm gonna stop. I need to brake. But that's how you need to see it. And all of your abilities are just the gas, the wipers, to, when it's raining, to help you. Gas, to move you in this trip. As it could be fear. Fear is part of that gas that, again, fear is like the ego. We cannot be afraid. But don't let them overwhelm you. Use that afraid ego / to make you better, to upgrade your car. When you master, when you know how to use your fear, your ego, you are upgrading your car. So I'm upgrading this car, and I'm going. And then I upgraded. I did make sure the repairs that I did were good. That's how the abilities are going to make all of these essential aspects: the tires, the gas, the wipers, the light. So those are your abilities. You need to know how they work, because you can't put a sign if you don't know which one is left and right? Or you cannot see if your wipers are not seeing it. So that's the way that I want to see all of this. Every aspect of this journey is important. The psychic abilities are the tool that are going to take us to the mediumistic abilities. So everything that you are looking to get, all of that help, that guide, and those maps that are going to be here, The only way that we are going to be able to reach them is we know how this is working and how we are driving. So see it that way, and I think that is going to be helping you how to see it. And you are in a traffic jam. I think that maybe you are not in a traffic jam. I think that you are getting out of gas, Crystal. Maybe is that something about the maybe a little bit of afraid, fear, ego, not ego, fear, afraid, or maybe you run too fast and now you are out of gas. So it's not like a traffic jam. And maybe you have some cars that are kind of not allowing you to see more. Other cars are other souls, okay? So, but start seeing it that way, and maybe that will help you. And because when we see that this is a pressure property that we have, because this is just a property, this body, this mind, this brain is just a body. When we start saying we want to get the best model possible, so we're gonna be eating better, we're gonna be taking more care about our health, even we accept who we are, but we want to be a little bit better. So we see it's like a house too. See, I like, because now you are seeing maybe the problem. You have trouble seeing when you are driving in the dark, so your lights are not maybe working properly. So maybe your lights are, it could be your clairvoyant, it could be your clairsentient. You need to find out which one are your lights, work with them, learn how to work with them, and you're gonna see in the dark. Because seeing the dark is not about seeing it with clairvoyant ability or with this eye. Seeing in the dark is just knowing, or just seeing. It could be hearing, knowing, feeling, right? But the light in this car is going to be that. So that's the way that you're gonna see that. So maybe it's time for you to, Tina, to learn what it is, the ability that works as a light in your car. See, sí, Lian, te va a gustar mucho este. Y te mandé un mensaje, but I don't know if you receive it. But I want you, each one of you, to see it that way. Maybe that way. So when we have this pressure and we see that this is just a tool, this is just something that is mine, I want to take care of it, I'm gonna appreciate it, I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. Because I want this to be in its best for my soul to be able to reach the best, or reach the full capacity. That's how you want to see it. This is how you want to start working. Let's be souls 24/7, 365 days a year. In every decision, in every step of the way. Stop thinking that just being spiritual, you have to be with what you know, with what you act or do, that is proper. No. Start allowing your soul, who you are as a spirit, to teach you. It's time for us as individuals to start being the light that others need. And that doesn't mean that I need to sacrifice myself, because I need a light too, okay? But I want to be, even that I feel that I need a light, because I have to look for people that maybe can light. I have a friend that he's the one that is being that light for me. I've been that light for him, but I have a lot of people behind me that need my light. And I have goosebumps and I want to cry. And because of that, I'm gonna be the best that I can. I'm not gonna compare myself. I'm gonna try to do my best because it fulfills me. But always knowing I have a responsibility of being the light, but not for people taking that light. I'm not responsible of the collective. I'm responsible of me helping what it could be the collective. If you see it that way, then it's going to be more easy for you to follow whatever you need. It's going to be more easy for you to fulfill. And I can tell you that the collective that you have around you, it will start changing, and those are going to affect other collective of people. And then it is when finally, but pushing, making people to force, to push. We are being pushed to do our job, our work in ourselves. That's why we are going that crazy about energy shift, ascension. We are being pushed because neither of us, we've been doing what is supposed to be doing. We've been doing it in the wrong way. And now you feel that you want to, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel that I have to do this, because now it's time for us to focus on us. So finally we can share what it is meant for us. So we are pushed, but we are giving. Yeah. So they push us, but we just flow, or we just give. That's the difference. So push me all that you want. I got this. I trust in myself. I believe that I can do it because it's been proven by my experience, and that's the way that I talk to them. And I'm gonna keep trying to be the best light. I'm not gonna say trying. I'm gonna be the best light that I can be for the one that I have in my back. That's the only thing that I can do. And trusting that the universe is going to bring the right people, the right souls, is going to take me to those houses, to those souls that need it the most. That's the way that you do it. But it's time to be souls. It's time to touch that part of life. Hey, you, are you there? Okay, let's work. Or hey, you, can you come here? We need to start working to be one and finally become one and create the best. It's time for it. I just try to make it joyful, but that's the way that I want each one of you to see it. Okay, so now we have how we're going to start working. At the beginning, we talk about how we're going to start working with our don't feel right, how we are going to really work with our gut intuition feelings, how we are going to allow this to, how we are going to be guided, how we are going to start working with the human side of it that are not allowing us to trust, fooling ourselves, making us feel like, oh, don't feel right. How we're gonna be working with that? We learn how to work with the ego kind of thing, what is the right way to do it. We learn how not to use our system belief as human to criticize and judge others, and to understand their own soul contract. And we learn how that we need to be souls and work as individuals to really help this earth, this planet, to not see it right or wrong, black and white, to create a new way of living as souls in here. Okay, sweeties. So in an hour, I think that we have like an hour and a half of talking in here. I think that we kind of got a lot of information that we need to start working with. Okay, sweetie. So definitely more than I was expecting, but it was exactly what it was needed. So I'm happy for that. Thank you. And as you see, I'm changing. Some changes are coming, but because of the classes and stuff that I'm gonna be doing now. But thank you everyone for allowing me to be in your houses, and be part of your journey. Thank you for allowing me to jump in your soul path a little bit, and kind of enjoying this trip with each one of you. Okay, sweeties. Love you, girls. Bye-bye.